Suspect number 4. Yeah, we all seen part of that police report, right? That they released to the insurance company. And that's what they wanted to release. And to let everybody know, right, there's more to that police report than what we seen, right? And I tried to get it, right? I tried to get everything to the police report, and they let me know that I couldn't get it because there's still an ongoing investigation on the case. So you got to understand, right? Wack thinks that it's all done, right? He thinks that he's not gonna, be held accountable. He thinks that everything's good. He's focused on Young Thug, 50 Cent, Preem, everybody else that got situations going on, right? But the situation that he was involved in, he acts like it never existed, right? And he doesn't talk about the no jumper situation anymore. And all the people that are on the internet that would usually talk about these type of things, they not talking about it. They act like it just disappeared. It doesn't exist anymore. It never happened. And we know that that's just not the case. Wack is making it his business to stir up a whole bunch of other drama to take everyone's focus off of what he was involved with, right? He's targeting everybody else but not putting himself out there. And we all seen what happened outside of No Jumper, right? And everybody's wondering why nothing has been done. Everybody's wondering why isn't Wack worried? And what I think that Wack is definitely working with them people. And Wack has other business that he's doing for the people right now. Whereas though they still got this case under investigation, but they using Wack for something else right now. And if Loose Cannon doesn't stick to what he was saying about Wack being the one orchestrating, I think it can get sticky, and Wack, could be on either side of it, right? But if Loose Cannon sticks to what he's saying about Wack orchestrating it, which I think he will, because I'm sure them feds have been talking to Loose Cannon more. We hearing less from Loose Cannon on the internet, right? We don't hear as much from him at all. Whereas though they was going crazy with the content. They was talking about different things and we was hearing from Loose Cannon more. But now we're not hearing from him as much, right? And I think the feds are in touch with him more. And I know dude don't want to go down by himself. Everything's on video. It's self-explanatory. So it's not like he has any fight. He has no fight in the situation at all, because it's all on video and they bragged about it, you know. So I'm thinking like Loose Cannon's definitely gonna bring Wack all the way into it, right? And Wack thinks that he's not gonna suffer any accountability for the situation, you know. Dude named suspect number 4 in this case, and we all know that he was the main one to orchestrate everything involved in the situation, right? We all know this. So I can already see that Wack thinks he's not going to be charged because he's trying to redirect the people from thinking about it, you know. And he got those like little peon people that try to redirect everything in a different direction. But we keep keeping it right there at the forefront, straight up. And if you haven't already, smash that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, man. You know, and share this live. You know, I appreciate all of y'all that rock with SBGBTV. Facts. Hit that like button most definitely. The like button don't hurt nobody. So smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribe to the channel. Yeah. But you know, I appreciate all of y'all. Big facts, man. But when I got the letter back from Burbank and they said that I couldn't get the information because it was still an investigation going on, it let me know that they are still looking into it and they don't want to put the information out there because they don't want to let everybody know. I guess it's more than just this investigation. In the police report, it's probably talking about other things that Wack is being looked at, right? Other things that, you know, have been mentioned about what Wack is into. So they probably don't want to let that out there yet. And they just put the police report partially out there for the insurance purposes, and it got leaked out from the insurance situation. So, you know, we all know, man, Wack was the leader in that situation, right? You know, he calls himself the general. Yeah, he was the leader in this situation. He was the one that organized this situation. And we don't hear anything about Dash Network anymore. Dash Network is done. No business through Dash Network. No business through the invisible diapers. Now, the only thing Wack is focused on is the book. That's it. No more Dash Network with all this stuff that happened from, right? No more invisible diapers. It's just about the book now. But I tell you, and I see Wack got in touch with Supreme's people, right? And I guess this brother doesn't know that Wack isn't right. I don't see how people deal with Wack at this point. I'm guessing like, man, this brother must don't see that Wack ain't right. Because you just did 34 years and 6 months in jail, and you get out and talk to Wack, who we all know is working with them folks. And Wack is saying, man, I'm going to get you up there with Vlad. But I tell you, man, a lot of people, their mind don't understand how to stay away from what's not good for them. They get manipulated about certain things when they know it's not right. Because the boy said, man, I don't usually like going on these platforms and talking, right? But Wack, you know, is encouraging the man, this is what I think you should do. You need to go on this platform, you know, so that you can promote your book, right? But I'm telling you, for real, it's going to end up being a disaster. Straight up. Because I see what Wack does with these people, right? When he's behind the scenes, he's talking illegal talk to these people, right? And they get to giving Wack information about things. He behind the scene, they get to saying stories about illegal things, and Wack is just soaking it up. That's all he do to these people, right? He get behind the scenes talking to these guys, and they start telling Wack information about situations. And he just soaks the information up and then turn around, let them people know what's going on, and then the next thing you know, somebody's in a situation, an indictment. Wack is definitely a chatty patty, right? As Dame Dash would say, right? Wack is a chatty patty. He's going to tell you information. He's never going to keep nothing private, especially if it's some information that them people want to know, right? At times, he going to come out and tell the world through the internet and make it look like, man, it was just on the net, so I talked about it. And then at times, he going to act like he got the information from somebody else. Then he going to talk about it publicly, but it's all directed for the people that had the information. Now, he had a public conversation with this guy from the Supreme Team, Prince, right? It was a private conversation, but Wack made it public, right? You know, Wack likes to try to show people that he's in dealings with certain people, right? But it all turns out sour eventually. It's going to be some reason that Wack is going to talk about the guy, that Wack is going to have an encounter, which he does with all of them, right? If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. What he does with everybody, right? It always turns out that he falls out with all the people. But what he does, what I see, is when he feels like it's somebody fresh around that might have got out of jail or just came on the scene, he makes it his business to try to reach out to them people to get to them before people will let the person know what type of character he is. It's like they got to see for themselves. And he does this over and over again. Everybody that he deals with, that he gets next to, they always tend to fall out every time after he uses them for what he's trying to use them for, right? Because what I'm gonna tell you, right? Wack is gonna try to get the ball on Vlad, right? And he'll go up to Vlad and try to get Vlad to do a deal to get the boy on there, right? So he can get a percentage. Professional middleman, right? So he'll go up to Vlad and talk to him about getting the boy an interview, and he want PC off of it. Professional middleman, right? And the boy don't understand this. But the whole time, Wack is trying to make him comfortable so he can get the information. And when he get the information, he's going to turn around and try to use something against him. And even make things up, exaggerate. So now, say if the dude sit down and fill him in on some of the story about anything, Wack gonna put spice on it. Straight up. Wack gonna put straight spice on it because that's what he do. Appreciate the membership. Done too much. Appreciate that. If you renew, appreciate that. That's what he gonna do though. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. But this is what he gonna do though. So he gonna get my man to Vlad, but he gonna be the one to try to make something off of him, get information from him, and then turn around and use it against him later. Certified snake, right? And we all know, because we see it, right? And this is why I break it down the way I do. Wack doesn't talk nothing about what happened to No Jumper no more. That's over. Nah, we ain't letting that go. We want to make sure that everybody understands that it's an active, open investigation for No Jumper. They saying that the complaint and the police report is in public right now. They not putting this out. Wack, like I said before, already made a statement. But this is what we gotta see what Loose gonna do. Because I really feel Wack has already made a statement to these people. And we gotta see what Loose gonna do as well. Because I feel he's made a statement, right? But they don't want to put this information out there about the situation because I guess they gathering whatever information about other cases. I don't know this though here. They know who the other two people is, right? And Wack act like this wasn't a crime. Like this wasn't a public crime. Now, we seen it. You was the one that initiated. You initiated everything that happened out there. What you do with everybody, right? And you don't want to take any accountability. Straight up. But we want to make sure that you take accountability and credit for it. We don't want you to not want to be a part of it now, because when it all went down, you was the one that took accountability, responsibility. You said it was this would happen when you come looking for Wack. But now you don't want no parts of it. You don't even want to talk about it. You don't want nothing to do with it.